We fought turns 1 through 5 on our reenactment game of Fort Donelson from 15 February 1862. The action saw limited movement by the Union side, hampered by their inability to roll good dices until Grant showed up on the field. The Confederates were able to take advantage of this, holding one of their major objectives for this battle, which is the Eastern Road as an escape route from Grant's army. In addition to this, the Confederates were able to take out 2 Union units, losing just one of their own. As we look forward to what will happen for the remainder of this battle, we hope that you go back and check out the first set of this battle in full detail to see how we got to where we are now, before watching this conclusion to the Battle of Fort Donelson that we play out here on Tabletop History. Turn 6 finishes out the morning for both of our units. While the Confederates are up 2-1, the Union still has an ace in the hole. Grant himself will be arriving at the end of this turn. In doing so, he will allow for his units to be able to spend their full priority points, an important factor in their movement and strategy. The Confederates have taken advantage of it to this point, driving back the Union lines. Despite this, the Union does get to move first for turn 6. They strike at the center of the eastern edge of the battle, moving up the combined units of Wallace and McClellan. This pushes Pillow's division back past the defenses largely, while forcing one Confederate unit to break entirely. On the eastern side of the battle, the Union seems to be doing well. However, on the western front, things are not going to plan. The Confederates are able to push back the Union even further towards their headquarters at the southern end of the board. This could spell some disaster for the Union, as they will not only take away the eastern escape route, but also lose units. Smith's brigade is able to flank Nathan Bedford Forrest. However, some strong dice rolling limits this effect. It gives a chance for Johnson's Confederate command to move up, however, and threaten Wallace. While Wallace's artillery is able to push back some units and do some damage, overall, the threat is still significant for the Union along the eastern side of the battle. Taking a risky move to focus on this eastern side by Wallace and McClellan, it does open up a possibility for Pillow to drive into the center part of this battle. However, that's a chance that the Union feels like they need to take at this point. Seeing how they're already down to 50% of their possible losses without losing the game, they have the need to move with some urgency. While Wallace and Smith are able to team up and do some damage to drive back the western assault on the Union defenses, there is still a long road to hoe for the Union side before they would be able to claim victory here. McCausland's brigade was broken and will be lost from the battle. At this point in the battle, we see a very similar action to what happened historically, with the exception of the increased fighting along the western side of the battle. The Confederacy seems to be in a much stronger position here on the eastern side, as they were historically, to try and secure the eastern route. However, their ability to tie up these Union forces on the west has played out differently and led to some issues. We'll have to see if the Union is able to rally as they did historically. Turn 7 now starts with both the Union and the Confederates on equal footing. The Confederacy drives hard on the western front, moving back Union forces with urgency. Their ability to do so actually breaks one more brigade, putting the Union precariously close to losing the battle outright. In doing so, however, they may have given up some of the advantage on the eastern front. While McCausland is able to hold back with Wallace, their artillery begins to do damage against the Confederate forces, limiting their advance and forcing somewhat of a retreat. Some of the brigades start to bend for the Confederacy along this eastern front. Dice rolling and the ability to move has definitely helped the Confederacy early in this battle, but now that the Union seems to be able to regain their movement ability and actually strike with some force, the battle begins to turn. Suddenly, the Confederates, who were very offensive along this eastern side of the battlefield, are forced to pull back. Great dice rolling removes brigades from the field. With this ability to inflict significant damage along the eastern side of the line by the Union, new hope is found for them. Grant is able to allow Union units to move with urgency in the priority points that was not available to them earlier in the battle. This change in the flow has allowed for Union forces to take more initiative on the eastern side of the battlefield. However, on the west, things still look dire as the Confederates are able to push back further and further. Turn 7 sees both sides with broken brigades. As a result of this, both sides end up with broken and lost brigades. While the Union and the Confederacy both have armies with a break point of 4, the next player to break an enemy brigade or capture an enemy unit will be the winner of this battle. Despite this being a game that can take up to 10 turns, as soon as one army is broken, the battle is over. Both sides have everything to play for still, as times get tight here late in the battle. As such, the Union pushes strong on its eastern side. Trying to take advantage of a very weak brigade, they are able to break through the center of the line and push back Confederate brigades. Despite this, the Confederacy knows that they still have a chance if they are able to inflict serious damage and try to do so. However, the dice do not go in their favor. With one last attempt here, the Confederacy tries to push and capture a very susceptible target of the Union headquarters. If they can take that, then they will be able to claim at least a draw. However, Union artillery is able to escape and evade the oncoming onslaught of the Confederates and hold their position, preventing this easy takeover. The Confederates hold their line, retreating somewhat to defend that eastern road, with the hope that they are able to rally their broken brigade and stay in the battle for at least one more round. While the Confederates have been very successful on the western side of this battle, the slow retreat by the Union forces have engaged enough of Buckner's forces to keep them away from the more important fighting along the eastern side. This seems to be where the Confederate strategy has failed. While they were successful early in the battle due to the Union's inability to move because of priority points lost before Grant arrived on the field, once he did, the Union initiative was able to push through and do significant damage. With Wharton's brigade under the Confederacy hanging in the balance, the Confederates tried to push one last time. However, Wharton is lost and the battle is over. The Union has broken the Confederate Army at the end of turn 8. This ends our game 2 turns ahead of schedule, but is done so because the Union achieved one of their major victory points. With this, the Union will be able to capture and hold, as they did historically, several thousand Confederate soldiers. Grant has his victory as he did in history. We'll have to see what happens next. And we hope you join us again on Tabletop History.